Welcome back, everyone, to VCT Americas. It was utter dominance out of crew here in map number 1 against 100 Thieves. All I'm saying is, it's happening. Let's go. Come on. Hey, I left you guys some presents, too, in case you want to get in on the croupium with me.
I'm going to be real. I'm starting to become a believer. I mean, 100 Thieves had a lot of issues, but crew did a great job of
You're leaving?
How could you not? How could you not be after that map, Sean? How could you not be?
I don't think they're going to be the best team in the league, but I think they're going to win this series. Come on, Sean.
Split?
100 Thieves looked so rough on that map.
Before we get to split, because I think there will be many valid points as to how 100 Thieves can come back, let's just talk a little bit about how crew was able to mount this level of
was taking space. They punished the fact that 100 Thieves had no Sentinel by capitalizing on every gap that was given to them, and that built so much confidence that you could see in the gameplay and in their reactions.
Yeah, I mean, they capitalized on the no Sentinel. They had their game plan coming into this map. On defense, they were aggressing. They were behind them. Even on the opening bonus, they're triple flanking A main. I mean, they were just all over on their attack half. They were stalling out in mid so well. 100 Thieves never had any idea where they were going.
Yeah, Mimi, we had those interviews with the players coming into the matchup where they talked about the importance of getting that map win and the confidence reinstilled. We saw it on their faces there. Confidence is back. But you mentioned a few very crucial rounds that crew was able to find and kind of attack the weaknesses and the openings within 100 Thieves' game plans from the attacking half. Let's dive into those. I think we got rounds 3 and round 7.
For 100 Thieves, with this Viper composition, their attack side strategy is kind of different than some other teams have done. It's a lot of kind of early pressure mid, try and fake presence there, and then go back and late 5 re-hit these sites. The thing is, in the mid rounds, they weren't baiting out utility. They weren't shutting down aggression from the other side, which are echoes of the Cloud9 series. It was the same issues they were falling into, and crew punished it every time.
They just knew exactly what to do whenever their initiators picked up util. This is the 7th round that you were talking about, and this is a problem that was honestly on 100 Thieves in the LCQ run when I was coaching the team. That smoke fading in mid because the timings are off and no one picks up clearing that angle. It happened when we played FaZe, and it's heartbreaking to see it happen again because I know that they know better.
Right.
And these are a lot of little mental mistakes that are just piling up on the 100 Thieves side. And I'm afraid it's just honestly slipping through their fingers and it's in their mental now.
Yeah, the site execs as well were always falling apart. It was the same thing where Cryo would try and dash in, and someone like Nags or Melzer would find a gap on the site, be able to anchor, get 1 or 2. And then when things got chaotic, 100 Thieves showed issues initially, but it felt like it snowballed once that chaos started going, and they never really had a recovery. We were talking about this, but every round they won was a clutch or a one-off that they probably shouldn't have.
I love the name drop of Melzer, too, because we knew Kesnit, right, is an absolute superstar, especially when he's feeling himself on the day, and he put up big numbers. Melzer was just behind him there on the scoreboard. But another player who is crucial to victory is going to be in our aim lab shoot around. It's Davies. He came up with a massive clutch on that defensive side as well to keep that level of dominance for the team going.
But not just clutch, util.
Yeah.
He had knife lineups that were really sniffing out what 100 Thieves like to do. Mimi said their mid-rounds were lacking. Well, it's because of someone like Davies who was getting the info for crew that whole time. And I mean, the bonus, flanking A main and pop flashing both players hell to win the bonus to open up the game. I'm just so impressed with his util.
Davies has been so impressive on this team consistently with the util usage, but also his flexibility. Heading into split, we're going to see him play on the Raze, and he's fantastic on that role as well. I think the addition to him into this crew roster has added a lot to them, and while they've been struggling thus far, he's oftentimes been a bright spot for this team.
He's also clearly got a strong mental, because anyone who voluntarily dives into that training method, that one pisses me off more than any of them, man, just because of the way it's coded to run away from you. So I'm like, look, you're doing that before a stage game? All right, props to you and your mental. All right, map number 2, though, Sean, because let's talk about maybe 100 Thieves' way back into this series. We are going to split for them to try and get it done.
Yeah, and this is a map where I know 100 Thieves has a lot of ideas, right? They've run through so many different comps over the iteration of this roster that they're very flexible, actually. They could play an Astra, they could play an Omen, they could play Cypher or Killjoy, they could play Sage or not play Sage. So there's a lot of options for 100 Thieves, and they've looked good here in this split, particularly against Sentinels.
Yeah, their game plan was sound in that matchup. On their attacking side, they found a lot of good value with the Sage Roll, using it to block off Heaven on some of these executes. And on the defense side as well, they had really good stall utility, combining Asana's Rays with those slow orbs, with the util from the rest of the players on the team as well, and shutting down. This is one where, when I've watched their Ascent, I haven't really seen the idea. They tried to innovate with kind of a new comp that not many people are playing. On this one, they're playing a comp that a lot of people play, that they are drilled on, that they actually have some creative ideas and some set plays on. So there's some confidence for me that 100 Thieves will at least play a closer game, but I don't know if they're just boomed after map number 1.
I think this map will feel a lot better for them because of the fact that they're likely going to have Sentinels on their team, right? And this is something that we struggled with when I was on 100 Thieves and why we ran a lot of Sages, is those defensive rotations. It's a struggle point for this 100 Thieves roster, and I think that's solved by how they play split and the comps they use.
To talk about KRU, though, this team is running that double dive composition. They played a super close game versus Furia. Did a very good job of punishing that weird chamber composition that they were running. I felt like, well, you can watch it and think, oh, it's double duelist, they're just running it down. The ideas were sound, the coordination was good. It was similar to the talking points we had on map number 1, as already we see Davies going back to the race.
I was about to say, right on cue, Davies locking in that duelist, so shifting over from the KO onto the Raze. There's the Astra on the other side, which you had called out there, Sean.
And that makes me think we're gonna get this double duelist again out of KRU, and these duelists are kind of popping off. Like, Kesnet is having a really, really good series right now, especially on these defensive halves that, throughout this whole split, his defensive halves have been unreal, actually. So can he be aggressive enough on defense in a double duelist comp against the comp that 100 Thieves is running? It's going to be hard.
Rightfully so, a lot of the conversation for this 100 Thieves squad has been around Cryo, playing the Jet, the Duelist. What can he do? This is a map where it's going to be about Asuna. I expect him to lock into that Raze role. He's looked really good when they've allowed him to flex over and play on that one. And I felt that that Cryo was good on the Sage as well. I am a lot bigger fan of what this team has prepped here.
So Sentinel pick comes in there for 100 Thieves, a second one as well. So Cryo jumping towards that Sage alongside the rest of the squad. Final pick here for Nags, and it will be the Viper to round things out for the team.
I think Cypher's a good choice up against this double duelist comp. Raze can circumvent it with those blast packs, but you will force them to slow down sometimes, to be breaking that trip in vents, to be being careful with these executes with the jet dashing in as well.
You like what you see, Sean?
I do like what I see, and I think the sight hits from KRU are they're gonna struggle against this double Sentinel comp. This is gonna be a very interesting matchup. The double duels are gonna want to go on sites.
Yeah, I think it's going to put a lot of pressure onto KRU's attacking half, considering that they're fighting into 2 Sentinels, as you mentioned. Well, KRU can get their first series win on the board if they wrap it up all right here on our second map. For 100 Thieves, they've got to extend us to a third as we hand it back over to Brennan Sideshow for the call.
Thank you very much, Dash. Yeah, maybe some hope is out there as well for 100 Thieves. Maybe they can do it as well, but I'm not even looking at the compositions, Josh. I'm not looking at the set strategies. You know, we know that 100 Thieves have a lot prepped on the split. They picked this map for a reason, but I just need to see a return to some of that confidence. We know that this team can play at higher peaks, and it just was missing on Ascent. It was missing.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct, but at the same time, KRU, they're going to limit test, and 100 Thieves have to be ready for that. I think also 100 Thieves have been running some of the same kind of strategies, same kind of pistol rounds, alt execs, that kind of thing. How well do KRU understand what 100 Thieves' goals are going to be? Now, one classic pistol round that 100 Thieves ran before, they took A ramp quickly, they used Cryo's wall to block off vents, they take A heaven, spill into the A site. I'm looking at Asuna and Cryo over there towards A, wondering if it might be something a little similar.
Speaking of limit testing, right off the rip, look at this. It's a Viper wall in their face. Haas holding a close corner, he has a flash in his hands, but they just want to hold this. Andy angles, contacting all the way deep, and everything comes down to the fight. Well, guess what? Trailblazer meeting it! Headshot was found, but no kill claimed, and oh, in the blink of an eye, it all falls down. Still flashed up to the side there. There was an attempt from Stella to try and relieve that pressure. He's reflanking through into mid, but they dropped the spike into very unfavorable territory, and with 6 health, and like a lost pistol round once more here, KRU. They are going to limit test, they are going to push. They're going to take those risks and take those fights.
We were watching this pistol round from Derek's perspective as well, as he just sees it all fall apart. But for the rest of 100 Thieves, for Cryo, for Asna, they did go up A ramp, but instead of taking heaven control and walling off vents, they tried to wrap through vents and pinch the players in mid. And that was a preset pistol round idea. That wasn't a reaction based on Derek seeing anything in mid. They did not know how many people they were running into. And this nade destroyed them. Davies' nade that he just turns around and throws, it keeps everybody on 100 Thieves grouped up in that small vents room. And they were not expecting to run into 4. That pistol round is designed to crunch 1, 2 players in mid. And Crew, once again, dismantling the idea that 100 Thieves throw out.
Blinded.
We're off to a good lead, but slow beginning now to this one. Just steadily taking that B main control. Possible goal here to farm up the orbs as well. Try and get some of those key ultimates online. The space is given, which looks like it is for now, but camera's spotting that out, so broken.
And you would expect Crew's composition to be playing quite aggressive on the defensive side. They've got double duelists, they've got a Sky, going to be looking for info over towards A ramp. Like, this is a very standard defensive setup for a comp that works like this. So 100 Thieves, you might see them just holding calmly, slowly for the first 40 seconds and seeing if they can find a pick. But if it does end up being 5v5, when 100 Thieves have rifles on board, then we need to start to see some level of game plan. And remember that even though 100 Thieves have picked this map, it's still up towards the top of Crew's map pool. This is not uncomfortable territory for Crew.
All's used early here. Okay, now you see it. Trailblazer spots quite a lot. Heavy group up from 100 Thieves. The entirety of their team over towards A.
Asna forgot where the ult orb was.
Comes it now, but none of that util's been pulled out prior. 100 Thieves. We've been trying to get this spike down, but they are just being cornered. A little bit of a trap here towards the top of a ramp as well. Wall in their face. No choice but to try and run straight through because they don't want to be saving those pistols, and so Crew been quite an easy, flawless round.
These are the kind of rounds where it really matters. We'll see whether Crew, with 4 Spectres in hand, are able to come up with anything decent on their bonus round.
Flawless.
I think Crew are set up really nicely here with the first pistol round win for an extremely dominant victory. I might be calling this way too early. Hell, we might be going to OT map 3, who knows? 100 Thieves picking it back up, slaughtering. Who can say? But with the way that this series has begun and the confidence of the Crew players,
it's boundless.
They just look so comfortable.
Yeah, and now we're looking at this bonus round. So, dog taken care of. No info going to be gathered really off of that. Still just holding this crossfire set up towards mid, waiting for this Viper orb to go down now. That's 100 Thieves.
Go get him.
It's very interesting to me to see the way that Mel's has set up his stars. Take a look at that star on A ramp, really tucked in the corner. I think that's so that they can stun re-clear A ramp if there's any pressure towards there. Not going to happen this round. What a swing from Kesnet. He wants to fight.
Fully aggressive. It's Cry using both his slow ups as well. He was scared at a re-peek.
So like I said, 40 seconds gone. 100 Thieves have just been waiting. Trailblazer forced out on defense. But now what do 100 Thieves do to try and take space and put pressure on? Crew have not given them a free pick.
Have to commit somewhere. And what is the direction they want to do it? They're going to be pushing them back now. Seconds ticking it down. A lot of damage being done. Another satchel pushing them back, buying even more time, just trying to work their way in, but they want to be going over towards A into ropes. Surrounded now. Crew up close. It's exactly where they're going to be favored when they've got this bonus weaponry. The Spectres are ripping them to pieces. They can't stand up to it. Nothing in sight.
And an incredible read again by Crew. 3 players there. Complete A ramp control the entire time. And Stella's way too slow to provide any level of distraction for those A ramp players. Crew have a gorgeous setup. Nags just pulls all of the attention running away into A heaven and sets up Klaus.
1 enemy remaining.
Here with Melza to rinse them. Easiest kills. It's a bonus round for Crew. 100 Thieves are hurting immediately.
Yeah, I mean, this is about as good as a beginning as you could hope for.
Oopsie daisy.
Yep, don't worry, mistakes happen still. Any sort of capitalization off of it. 100 Thieves moving away forwards now. A couple of stingers, maybe they can run it down and try and get a kill or 2. Lovely stun, okay. Access dealt with, claimed a rifle. Well, not 4v5, but if the previous map is any indicator, Crew winning 71% of the rounds. I believe that they were even in a 4v5, so maybe that will still be the same case. Asuna taken care of.
Look at how Mel's has taken B main control, though. Even if this does end B, 100 Thieves play so many people in the same spot that Mel's has just got a great position to backstab them. He knows that he's probably going to be taking a 1v1 in B main at worst against Stellar. And in fact, though, Stellar is trying to take space up in A heaven.
But he's alone doing so, making sure that the angles are watched for. Steadily, slowly. 35 seconds left.
Kesnit.
Oh, he sees
just spotted a gun barrel.
Weapon out, sticking to the side as an attempt. Swing, a punish from Bang, potentially now flooding right down. Waterfall, straight into the sightline of Klaus.
Crew have so many of these little moments, actually, where we've seen one player dragging attention for 100 Thieves, and 100 Thieves take the bait. Just chasing the white rabbit, following all the way down the hole, and Klaus mops them up.
Wide swing to punish. Just the nature of the way the Crew have been playing this as well. Even the parallels between this map and Ascent so far, I mean, they've been grouping up heavily, stacking with a lot of their players. But they've just been following the trail of utility that gets used.
Yeah. Yeah, they're finding it very obvious and clear right now to track where 100 Thieves are going on their attack side. That is a lot of damage very early on by Melzer. He tried to peek B main. Got wallbang headshot.
Has to respect it, but look at that. It's given up the entirety of the B site. Swapping around, actually leaving it for a heal, so there was an opportunity presented if the space could have been taken, but 100 Thieves obviously not too aware of that. Now using the Trailblazers, see if they can claim any more space. It's immediately broken, and there was no follow-up. Great snake bite. Some nags there, placed it to the feet of the players. 100 Thieves couldn't follow up on it.
They've pulled out a lot of the Sky utility, but also, again, 100 Thieves have made it very obvious where they are currently. I'm surprised the Seekers even get used. You could have waited a little longer for that. But with them getting broken up in B heaven, pretty clear that there's a lot of mid pressure currently for 100 Thieves. And the re-push comes out in B main. Davies, Melzer, clear it.
That disrespect. So far, it's been a key component to a lot of these wins, but it's a heaven all the way to push through into B. No other presence here, the double satchel into the side. Asuna's got so much to do there and gets away with a kill. Maybe opened it up for it with 20 seconds remaining. Timing is everything, and Klaus Wilder confidence to take that fight. Bang! High ground angle watched for. Showstopper now going to be utilized. Goes wide all the way. No kill. Claim Kesnit's still alive. And guess what? Rattling shot after shot. The Guardian in his hands. 100 Thieves.
There's no time.
No time at all. Right down to nothing. Another round for Crew. 5 on the board.
And every player dropping. Ruinous to the economy. A tragedy. Kesnit, though, what is this? Comes in, completely unaware from Bang, wins the duel against Asuna as well, and just cracks this wide open. Meanwhile, though, 100 Thieves had never pushed anybody B main. No. Melzer was just allowed to sit there the entire time. Crew must be wondering how they're allowed to get away with stuff like that. Wait, really? No one's gonna reflag B main at any
beggars
point?
belief. It really does. A lot of the times,
everybody through B heaven.
Just grouped up through mid. The only time they've been attempting a split was either at the pistol round or when it was Seller just lurking towards A ramp. And so a timeout's taken now for 100 Thieves to try and, listen, correct the course a little bit, but the question is, I mean, where do you begin? The hull's got holes in it all over the place, Josh. I mean, listen,
yeah,
it's a hard task.
But also, what a beautiful day for Crew. I mean, they could not have asked for a better start to this series.
Yeah.
13-4, now a 5-0 lead. They were up 7-0 map 1 as well. In terms of confidence building, in terms of getting that first win and feeling like you've got the ability to challenge other teams in this league, it's everything that Crew could have asked for today. Big performances out of their star players, winning every game duel, reading 100 Thieves like a book. It's just all working. And their CEO, Sergio Aguero's here to watch it all.
Maybe that's the difference maker.
Yeah, maybe
that's the difference maker.
Maybe it is.
That should wet.
They're getting the football buff. soccer. Sorry, we're in VCT Americas.
Yeah, it's Americas, Josh.
I mean,
Get it right.
actually, the majority of Americas doesn't call it soccer.
They call it football. Don't get onto this train of thought now.
No,
Actually, you can. It's a half bite.
It's about, yeah.
You can go off, actually.
Bomb buddy out.
Kesnet, no fear in his heart as that wants to take an early fight there, but dog broken. Flash to push them away as well towards A main.
And a Trailblazer used to try and set Stellar up a little.
Refight was there, so Davies is respecting it for the time being. Nade in his hands though. That's going to be missing the timing as the players are already pushed all the way up, deep into ropes, but no kill found. Slow orb at their feet. Bit of anti-synergy perhaps as well, because I believe that was Cryers, so quite push and punish. And right now with 45 seconds left, it's a scramble. Everyone's looking for opportunities. Is there going to be a trade there? Davies dropped down. 2 health, repositions. It's a bit of run and gun, but it gets the job done. Still the reset, Melzer.
Spike down.
Being pushed there, even just opting to use the stun for some reason, but who knows? Dropping down into hell now.
One enemy remaining.
Not enough position. Spray down from Stella, not enough. Can't quite find that bullet. Desperate for the cranium.
You gotta think there, if 100 Thieves have weapons, surely they're able to get the kill on Melzer. He gets away with murder. But also, Bren, you were commenting, why does he use a stun there? Because he thinks people are coming B main. Yeah. And there's nobody ever coming B main. I mean, even with Melzer having re-explored that in some previous rounds, he still gives 100 Thieves the credit. Like, surely I'm gonna get pushed through that smoke. Surely. Nope. Nope, they're all heaven.
Yeah.
They're all heaven. All right, Rifles back on board. Can Crew get up to that 7-0 lead, same as we saw on Ascent? Kesnet now with an op.
Early pressure, slow orb. Okay! Off angle for Kesnet with the operator, but with him dealt with, is there going to be any sort of pace behind this? Looks like the attempt might be there. Seeker's wall. Oh, Seekers end up breaking the wall.
You are divided.
Bit of anti-synergy. But the Cosmic Divide comes through as well. And now Asna and Stellar are left in like a strange double lurk position.
This is very odd. 100 Thieves eventually making their way into the B side, just making sure it's all cleared out, but they've committed so many ults. Cosmic Divide at any point now is going to be starting to go down.
And the plant is still not through. Bang is just getting the spike in.
Spike planted.
So how does this post plant get played?
Exactly where you
No one into the back of the site, no one into the back of the corner. Oh, Blazer. Now their own Cosmic Divide as well. Let's just split this up. There needs to be an attempt to refight through this one because it's blocked them off. Pulse used incredibly early there. No one was tapping that spikes. Lovely flash play. There's 100 Thieves trying to get proactive all the way through, and the stun is good to connect, but a fight not won. Melzer tapping it.
Standing.
Doesn't win the second one. Bang. Reclaiming the kill. Flick of the wrist, but Cryo pushes.
And it's not going to be the clean 7-0 for Crew. 100 Thieves finally respond back. Off the back of being able to find a good first pick on the operator, that's a nice shot from Derek, and then proactivity, using Derek's utility in the post plan to get past that Cosmic Divide that was laid down. So I like the way that 100 Thieves played that. Can they find those same openings at the beginning? Because if you think back to what I was saying, 100 Thieves playing slowly at the beginning of these rounds, first 40 seconds just watching for the peak, watching for the push, and that really is the first time where they've been rewarded for it. Not because Kesnet overstepped himself, but because they read where it was going to be and hit a nice shot.
A lot of disrespect showing though. Kesnet's so close to this one. Klaus is covering him. One shot found, vulnerable up into the choke point. The flash is good to try and blind him for but a moment, but it needs to be just some push. Attempt over it. Derek's there. Takes the fight to him, and he does trade it, but he's the last player left standing now. To the back of the A side. Spikes in his hands. Minute 10, opportunities to slow this one. Tap of the spike as well, wants to try and force one of the fights. But grouped up, it's the name of the game for Crew here. Flash doesn't see anything. Headed too close to the wall, I think. This is giving him false information. He thinks he can stick it, he thinks nobody's there! And Crew, of course, they're going to be jumping on that.
A bit rough, but Derek was still in a 1v3.
Of course, yeah.
I can respect the change of pace for 100 Thieves. They went for something fast, aggressive, out through A main, when usually they've been playing slow at the beginning of these rounds. The issue being, the response was there from Crew. It was really nice. Snakebite comes through, they've got a pull there as well. Spam. sorry, not a snake bite, but the pull coming through, and then also just a massive amount of spam coming through from Klaus.
Always covering.
And Kesnick got away. Now big ultimates available for the defending team, and 100 Thieves definitely on the ropes. Again, 100 Thieves were a squad that would have been coming into this game hoping to have a statement win that showcased to their fans that they still had what it took to be able to make it to playoffs. And not only did 100 Thieves need to win this game, they also needed to get an upset of one of the big 4 teams in order to have a serious shot at getting back into playoffs and making a run towards Tokyo, as people hoped from them at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And that dream looks absolutely dead in the water. 13-4, the score on the first map. Down 7-1 here in a 3v5.
Yeah, you need something akin, I think, to divine intervention at this point, but see if they've got what it takes. Seekers dealt with. 3 players facing it towards mid, all grouped up. Rez is online, and it looks like that's why they're fighting for this space as well. They want to try and get this back to at least a 4v5, maybe. It could be winnable. Close corner, updraft for Kesnin to escape, and they have regained this space. They want to opt to use the Rez? No, it doesn't look likely. Just
30 seconds, though. There's barely any time.
no time at all.
Who have taken a great timing on when to retreat. If this finishes B, they're going straight into the showstopper.
Yep, and there it is. Rocket unleashed, no kill claimed. Pushes them back with 20 seconds left. Kills need to be found, and found fast. Wall in their face, that's been taken off. Satchel pushes him right back. Davies now onto the low ground. Shot still found onto the head
10 seconds
of Cryo. Walking right into it.
Flawless.
It's just too difficult. Can't get through it. These crossfire setups by KRU. No stone unturned.
$12-4 for Klaus. Just being able to play off his duelists mostly.
Yeah.
And use their distraction to trade, to swing, uncontested. What a rebound for this player. I think he won the Bagua d'Or. Listen, I'm not sure, but the Brazilian award for the worst player, he was nominated a couple of times over there.
You don't want that one.
You don't want that one, but Klaus definitely looking like he's playing really well within the system here.
Now we see a fast play. First kill for Asuna. Immediate trade again by Klaus, just as we were crediting him. And he's got his confidence back, pushing forwards! Vulnerable from the snake bite. 3 in a round for him. Widest swing in the world. Just see if they can claim anything at all. Spam through the wall though, common enough position, and Bang has lurked his way through. Seekers gonna be distracting them, pushing forwards. It gives information.
This is the kind of play they haven't gone for the entire time. Just abusing the fact that KRU are not playing heavily towards the edges of the map.
Bang can hold this space now. He knew that both of the players were doing ropes towards mid. He can hold down his heavy position.
Spike planted.
The potential's there to convert this 2-on-2.
Davies and Melzer have gone from vents all the way around the long
playing
flank
together.
here. But I think the timing and the fact that Bang has not heard anything gives him some idea that they could be spawned.
Comes down to timing.
Watching.
Might be taken. 1 kill.
Last player standing.
And grouped up, so Davies does get that trade-off down to that 1-on-1.
Derek could be anywhere.
Nade into elbow, and yep, Derek's position here. Will he get cleared? Will he get spotted? Off to the side, a shot whiffs. Out in the open, Derek needs to win it, and he does! And so another one. Claim 2 rounds now. Clawing their way back.
At this point, though, I'm not even willing to have the conversation about how many the 100 Thieves need.
Sure.
They need 13. It's
Gotta be there.
It's a good one from Derek. He's definitely found some moments where he looks like himself again. Can they weave together these final 2 rounds? Can Asuna pick up a big entry with a showstopper, perhaps? At this point, they must have a decent read, especially because Bang was able to get into A so frequently, so easily, that if they pull a lot of attention, they can lurk players through in other areas. KRU cannot be everywhere on the map at once.
No, absolutely not.
But once more, it's a 4-1 from 100 Thieves.
So the game plan might be just go off with the showstopper. Yeah, it is. Though gets broken. Satchel, okay, banging his head on something there, just making sure. Stopped in his tracks still. Fuse running out here, clearing the close corner. Lets it rip, but completely vacated. Now a Cosmic Divide. This will split the side up. make it just that bit much safer. Nader to the back, Thieves. Escaping a lot of the damage there, but there's a slight gap that's been opened up. Satchel down into hell, all the way forward. Every single That's monstrous, and that's what they need.
Confidence, aggression in the post plant. Stellar on the lurk, not even required. Glimmers of it here from 100 Thieves these last couple of rounds. The read possibly a little too late there, but at the same time, I think they'll take anything they can get right now. What a beautiful spray transfer.
Absolutely impeccable.
As soon as 100 Thieves got that first round, I mean, they're 3-2.
I'd love a conversion of this final one, but KRU are going to be trying to stop them. Trailblazer, does that clear this? Looks like it, yeah. There was a nade used to try and watch the angle, actually into ropes. All the way back, but 3 players grouped up from KRU, just making sure that they've got the crossfire set up, and it has opened up these gaps. You can see it now, looking like Stella wants to try and take that space.
Yeah, this is really nice. He notices that the Jet and the Sky are not here, and that's who have frequently been holding him back on A.
I think they've got the info to Zay, though. That deep B main push by Melissa, I think he's heard Cryo running through spawn over towards A. See what he can get done, though. Satchel now into the side. It's vacated, and a lovely timing with that peek from Stella. Ult online as well. That's going to be giving even more information to work off of. They know that nobody's flanking.
This round has been lovely from 100 Thieves so far. I really like the way that Stella's called it. The problem is just that it's at round 12. And KRU still have a chance on the retake. Can they clear out a ramp? It is so heavy in the post plant for 100 Thieves here. I think it should be devastatingly good for them.
Trying to cover for the fire, trying to cover for this. Stella onto the close corner, on top of the wall as well. The fight's being taken together. This is exactly what 100 Thieves needed, but you can't let this one slip, Nags. So 1v3, he is low. Not too many bullets left. Jumping spots, both of them here. All close to breaking. Double face should do it. 16 health left. Gotta be cool, calm, and collected, and there it is. Finalized with one last bullet. An 8-4 half. The potential is there. Maybe it could be salvageable, but for KRU, they're gonna be very, very happy with this.
100 Thieves have yet to win a pistol in the series so far. And with them being 8-4 down, this next pistol is going to be everything. We said they had to win one to start a comeback on Ascent, and they didn't. They lost. Can it be different now?
Yeah, we'll find out enough. Doug is standing by with a KRU founder as well. Mr. Aguero himself, I'm sure, is quite happy.
Como Douglas Costa.
Algo así. Thank you so much, Fred. Yeah, I'm standing by with Aguero. We're hanging out on a stream, hanging out in the studio. Aguero, primero de todo, ¿qué opinas de la arena? ¿Qué opinas de cómo está todo?
Bueno, la verdad que impresionante el estudio, o sea que bueno, muy contento disfrutando de mi equipo y bueno, esperemos que sea un buen día.
I asked him first of all, like, you know, how is he feeling given the game and given the arena, what he thinks of it all, and he's just fired up, he's enjoying it, he's having a really good time, and he's got really good reason to. Hablando del equipo, hablando de todo un poquito, dime el partido, ¿qué opinas? ¿Están ganando?
No, muy bien, el partido está bien, la verdad que los chicos, a pesar de que llevan 3 derrotas, están muy bien, digamos, en los entrenos, o sea, el entrenador lleva 1 mes y medio, la verdad que en ese sentido muy bien, porque hay que tener un poco, ¿no?, de paciencia y yo creo que lo están hoy demostrando todo, digamos, el buen entreno que están teniendo, lo están demostrando hoy. Yo pensé que iba a ser un poquito más adelante todavía, pero bueno, claro, está bueno que sea antes también, ¿no?
Y están ganando.
Sí, están ganando y bueno, pero por ahora en Argentina se dice no hay que decir nada, vamos a esperar.
Paciencia. I asked him what he thought about the game. He says, you know, they're winning, and patience is really the key here. The new coach has only gotten a couple weeks, so you just got to give it some time. They're going to continue to win. And the last thing he said was, we're just not going to address it. Let's just wait and let's see how the match ends out. Últimas palabras antes de que te dejo ir.
Últimas palabras, bueno, vamos KRU, tratar de que de que ganemos. Obviamente no es fácil, pero bueno, espero que la gente lo esté disfrutando, que la verdad que es un juego que a mí me encanta muchísimo. Soy de jugarlo bastante y bueno, y un saludo a toda la gente también que vino acá, a pesar que vinieron a alentar al otro equipo, pero no importa.
Todo bien,
Así que está todo bien, no pasa nada. Así que un abrazo para todos los hinchas de Crew.
Buena suerte, man. The last question I asked him was, any parting words? Vamos, Crew. It was as clear as day. It doesn't get any better than that. We'll throw it back to the desk to close out the match. Bren, Josh, what do you guys think?
Yeah, let's see which direction this one goes. I understood Vamos, Crew. I got that part. I got that part for sure, yeah. And yeah, I like that as well. Listen, no comment. Doesn't want to curse anything.
Exactly.
This is Crew that are paving the way to trying to get their first win in the Americas split right now. Quite a lead indeed, but it's 100 Thieves that might be, Josh, listen, might be injecting some hope into me here with this couple of rounds at the end here with 4 on the board, but the pistol round needs to be converted nevertheless.
It's been 3 out of 3 pistol rounds for Crew so far.
And it's fast. We knew it's going to be the play. Crew running this double duelist comp, the bread and butter of it. It's how much space you can take just off the rip. It's explosive all the way through. Nade is great, actually. Right into the feet of them, onto the ropes, because they can't even get out of there. No chance in hell. Lovely from Asuna to claim that.
It's exactly the same pistol attempt from both teams. And 100 Thieves, they wall off mid, so there's no chance of being pushed from there, and then naded into vent.
Doubled up, grouped up. Spike in the hands of Klaus. Might be trying to make something work there. A bit of a contact push.
Healing over here.
A lot of these angles are being watched for, though, and his position is going to be noted. Space given up towards mid. There could be a potential of a bit of a pivot, but no. As the spikes go down, Nags, how do you win that one?
The timing's so off there from Derek, trying to help back.
Flash around the side, duck, bang, trying to be that savior. Top of heaven.
One enemy remaining.
Tap, tap. Patience is
Spike
key.
down A.
Kills claim, so Melza, last player standing out in the open. Cryo wants to take the fight, and there it is. Won it out. And a pistol round, finally, Josh, over the course of this series. The 100 Thieves, much lauded after prize.
That's going to be absolutely necessary to give them any chance to get back into this. Obviously, Split does trend. I mean, I say obviously. Actually, with this new version of Split, it hasn't been that defender-sided.
No.
So not even that level of cope for 100 Thieves, especially with Davies and Kesnick playing the double duelist. It can actually trend attackers-sided, but it all comes down to how 100 Thieves deal with it and how their anchoring is. And you saw that even with Derek falling, Bang's anchoring on A looked really solid.
Bull to try and punish that one. Asa was close. Nades. Rebounds. Players are pushed forwards. And yep, Melza was separated. Couldn't retreat. Had to take the fight straight to them. But there's no slowing this down at all onto this eco. Spraying them down. Right into it. Trying to make sure the covering fire is there. Forced to really put a dampener, though, in the middle of this. Still rattling off the shots from Davies. He was hoping for a bit of RNG, maybe a stray shot landing.
What a difference
all the way back.
What a difference in terms of tempo, though, Bren, at the beginning of these rounds.
Yeah.
And Crew are going for early map control instantly. I mean, while we saw on the attack side, Cryo would throw a slow orb and spam a little bit towards B main. Crew run as fast as they can.
All the way through. Use out their util to take ramp or B main.
So 100 Thieves are going to be having to take these battles right from the off and then reset a little. And Crew are hoping that they're going to be able to win map control early, maybe even generate a pick and give themselves a favorable advantage to play from.
30 seconds left.
That's the last player standing here.
If Asuna can find this kill, he's close to his showstopper, actually. Definitely worth trying to send this.
Another nade. Klaus is being cornered, trapped in every position known. Frenzy, can't get away with that. There he is. Okay, eventually falling. So Asuna, yeah, like you said, 2 away now from the showstopper with that kill.
Very kind from Cryo not to steal the kill so that Asuna could get close to the showstopper.
Yep.
It's only the very best teams in Valorant that you'll see do that.
Yeah.
Teams
it's nice of him to lose the fight.
Yeah, very, very good coordination there from 100 Thieves.
But okay, they win the eco, keeping the economy relatively in check there. So gonna get a reasonable bonus round going. It's got a bit of danger behind it with the Bulldog. Derek Scott in his grips, so
There.
putting the attention towards mid early on. That's right down. Crew not wasting any time once more. I mean, that's been the name of the game for them, hasn't it? The entire time here.
That peak is lovely. Exactly as Asuna was about to swing and break the Trailblazer. Could potentially have had his head ripped off there by Kesnit. And like I said, how fast are Crew to take this area of the map? First 20 seconds. Repush B main.
Flash is good. Melza just backs away. He's walking into the wall there as well. His position is noted. Surely into the close corner here. Trying to get the pull. Nade right into the corner. 23 health. He survives. Backs away, and there's a heal online as well. Klaus has got that in his back pocket. So back up to 100.
That's unfortunate. It's a really nice reclear idea from 100 Thieves, but the nade was just a little off.
Asuna's re-cleared his own space as well. No fear in his heart. Taking that B main position, so he knows that there's no attempt towards that, but doesn't mean they've had to give up some semblance of idea of what's going on towards mid.
And they're very happy if this ends A. Kill trip set up for Stella.
I've got your trail.
Cam for info. Here come the Seekers, though. Klaus using these in the bonus round. Should end up getting broken early, but they're swinging in front of them.
Early fight, updraft dash over the top. That's going to be dodging some of the trips, but guess what? You can't dodge all of them. Cage is giving a lot of covering fire here, but with Stella falling, it needs to be more, and there it is from the sidelines with only 11 seconds. Plan has to go down. Showstopper's giving the easiest target in the world. And that is 100 Thieves. Conversion of the bonus, exactly what they needed, and suddenly looking much more doable, almost evening up that scoreline.
I really like the idea from 100 Thieves that the B reclear is fantastic and sets Asuna on this crazy fast flank. Instantly. He gets those 2 kills that's necessary to get his showstopper online. Pops it, kills the planter. Gorgeous round.
Major difference that I'm seeing here with 100 Thieves. Just proactive plays to take back the space. They know that Crew are grouped up a lot. Just having the confidence to take those fights as well. Great start. Wall across. A rifle for Nag, so he can't quite break that one easily enough. With the Phantom spam, you never know. Almost getting one out of it, but...
Here.
Change of the setup. CCTV POV there from Stella, just making sure that they can't contact up. There was a trip as well. You can see it a little bit deeper and a cage on top of it, so...
It is a very different defensive setup, though, isn't it? Wall early towards A main and trips for mid information.
Asuna's going to nade off of this, most likely. Might be the goal. Oh.
Hello.
None the wiser. Dash is there. There's a pull on top of it. Yeah, just swings with a weapon.
And this is more what you're expecting from a team like 100 Thieves. This feels like the ideas and the plays that they had last year.
Blocking vision.
Where everybody knows what the game plan is, and there's a set idea of who's supposed to play off what piece of utility.
Yeah.
And even though 100 Thieves aren't necessarily being aggressive, they are actually controlling the tempo
left.
because everywhere Crew goes, they're running into some kind of trap or some kind of synchronized play. That is a very nice round by 100 Thieves. It is used on an anti-eco, but it gets them level in the series. And what a time for 100 Thieves to have won their first pistol in the series, their first bonus round in VCT Americas, and then show us a very nice defensive setup. Talk about stringing things together that they needed to showcase and put the pressure back on Crew. Everything coming at the right time.
Listen, there's been that doubt that's been creeping into, I think, some of the statements we've been uttering, Josh, as well, from time to time, but listen.
For good reason, I would say.
Absolutely. But as the map progresses, it's even, and now Crew on the back foot. It's a timeout call by them. Trying to discuss what they need to do, because you're right, it's 100 Thieves who have great control of the tempo of the way this split map is currently landing. A lot of these early explosive plays by Crew where they're just trying to take that map control with a double duelist. It's being shut down. There's a lot of stool available to 100 Thieves with this one composition they're playing. You think about it with the pulls, the nades, Cryo's got his slow orbs, the trips you have to navigate as well that are placed in very defensive far back positions. Crew are finding it difficult to chew through all of that.
Atom, the new head coach, they're absolutely popping off in the timeout for Crew too.
Yeah.
While Mike adopts the we were born with one mouth and two ears approach.
Stoic.
Just listening to his players, allowing really what has been a good defensive half right now to continue out.
Yeah. Not much that needs changing.
Not really, not just yet. So this defensive setup shifted against. Stella's got his cam over towards B. it looks like they're still trying to get into good defensive positions early, but you've got Cryo and Asuna playing together over at A ramp. That means slow nade combos. Two players with very good firepower contesting here too. Oh, and I love this Trailblazer. It pushes people into the A ramp fight, but only 1 for 1 for 100 Thieves.
1 for 1! Kesnit's so fast on the approach as well. He's able to just a couple of bullets clipping the legs there.
Instant reaction too.
Yep.
That was very much missing from the 100 Thieves attack side. Somebody to take space super quickly off the back of other info.
Good awareness from Derek, knowing that
You are
space was compromised for the Cosmic Divider. An early peek by Derek. A pre-fire onto the corner, hoping for something a little bit more here. Davies. Late backstab. This trip in his face, though, is making it awfully hard to try and get around that.
Davies would love for Stella to go down here. If 100 Thieves attempt some kind of retake and Stella falls, suddenly Davies is going to have an amazing position.
Could be it. Cosmic Divide online.
well
How's it going to be placed? Okay, splits up the site. Does not have to worry too much about the Heaven presence, but they still have 2 players anchoring. Melzer close to the wall as well. It's all about the timing of where this gets taken, and there it is. Swinging up the top as Derek claims that first kill, still making a way and making a round all the way through. Davies, position's got to be noted, and what a swing by Bang. Hit ripped straight off the shoulders of Davies, didn't stand a chance.
The retake is lovely, and it's again at the perfect time for 100 Thieves. This is their map pick, and now that they're on the defense side, we're starting to see why. I didn't really get an idea of it on their attack half. I don't think it looked amazing. But now that we see the stuff that they're pulling out here...
Yeah, you're seeing the preparation, the work, the different setups, the changes to it, the way they're playing off of each other.
Yeah, the coordination just looking so much stronger
Yeah.
in that retake compared to what we've seen across the whole of the rest of the series.
Got to be ready to deal with this one, though. Look at that. 4 players grouped up from KRU. Way towards B. Suspecting that. Boombot's dealt with. Dash active as well. Kesman wants to try and take a fight to them. Cuts its way across. Spam into the common angles all the way across. Up and over. There's 100 Thieves who are ready for it. A slow orb dropped at the feet, splits up the players. Nags wants to try and make the most of this. That's a timing. Straight away taken. Trailblazer didn't spot it. And Derek realizes it.
I don't know whether he realizes it or just has insane reactions there.
Either way, returns with the kill. Klaus. Really so much to do in this scenario, but the way 100 Thieves are playing this one, they are leaving no gaps in their play, always taking these fights together.
And the variety of setups on the defense is really throwing KRU for a loop. Stella's moving his setups. He played hard anchor one of the rounds, then he moved it over to B. We saw him play those trips for mid information, and this time Cam over towards A Heaven. What I would consider like the most default setup for 100 Thieves. Cam in Heaven, then they have Derek looking for info over towards A ramp. The Sage is playing towards mid B Heaven, and you have Asuna and Bang playing heavy B main. That's going to be a very common setup, but it's the fact that 100 Thieves are rotating so many of them. We've seen, I think, at least 4 distinctly separate defensive setups here over the course of the first 6 rounds. That is very difficult to get a read on if you're KRU.
Yes.
You can't tell where the Cypher utility is going to be. Can we burst this round, or are they kill trips? Are we, do we need to go and take a lot of mid control and break their information? Where do we have to be worried about slow nade combos? All of this kind of stuff is switching. And when you have this variety of defensive setups, it makes it very difficult for KRU to figure out a good game plan in the mid round.
And current plans falling apart a little bit here on the attack side, but this is the second time and that's taken in short succession here for KRU, looking for answers because 100 Thieves, look at the amount of rounds they've managed to rack up one after the other.
And remember, even when they talk to their coach, it's not like the coach is going to be able to tell them all of the defensive setups 100 Thieves are running.
Yeah,
we get the privilege of seeing that from home.
Yeah, you can see everything, but they're working off of limited viewpoints, obviously, only their team.
Yeah,
what they're witnessing. So,
and it is much harder to get that read. Here it's swapped up again, like a full B retake kind of setup. Early A ramp pressure.
And a fight to be taken! Wow, okay.
I like the swing from Asuna. I think he's favored there, but Kesnit just ignores the dog completely.
Here.
Yeah. Wasn't keen on breaking that one. Asuna did have the confidence to take the fight, but he will fall, so.
And I can appreciate that from Asuna. He has looked confident on Duelist. something that we were criticizing 100 Thieves for in general, and Cryo specifically, map 1.
Playing for the res here, Josh. Wall up. There's an attempt to deny it there as well. Nags ended up using a snake bite. There needs to be a response, and there is from Crew. They immediately take all that space, and guess what? Bang has to be the guy right now. Dash forwards, it's cut up the crosshair placement, spam into the smoke, and that swing from Kesnit. That's immaculate timing. Still a fight. Opportunity before the smoke's even placed in the face of Stella.
Welcome to my
Let's take out Kesnit, so down into that 4-on-4, but with the Viper's pit in their faces, they need to go fast, flooding straight in. Showstopper, close to the corner there. Asuna doesn't get anything from it. Into the corner, they know B main is compromised. Do they choose to refight this one together now? That's the question. Lot to deal with here. Melzer's dealt with, no longer that B player, and the spam into the smokes, it's so potent. With the Phantoms in their hands, Stella leaping forwards. They're trading out the kills. An angle to be watched for. Nags is outside of the pit. It's going to be falling in just a moment. The decay damage is there, still incredibly winnable. Nags has found the first, sticking it through! He wins it! Derek doesn't get off, tries to stick the plan all the way.
And that Red Bull clutch is like a dagger to the heart of 100 Thieves. The first round that they lose, actually, still a decent round for 100 Thieves, all things considered. The way in which they were able to navigate the pit, they had some nice ideas. But Nags played this one beautifully.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Nags, I think.
Able to take down Asuna, as Asuna was looking for information. And honestly, I don't think Asuna thought he was even going to get challenged. He assumed that Nags was still inside the pit somewhere.
Yeah.
Taking your timings outside the pit is so much more difficult now after the Viper nerf.
It wins Nags the round.
Crew have tons of attacking tools at their disposal here. Showstopper's great for taking space. The Seekers as well. And what they've been doing is trying to reactively take some area when they spot the weakness. If 100 Thieves are stacking B main or A main, they'll try and react through mid or through the opposite side of the map.
Cam setup. I must wait a moment. Spots them. No, now the heavens taken, so that's 100 Thieves looking to try and take the fight. Trailblazer to clear through, bit of spam through the box though.
So this is the defensive setup I was describing as 100 Thieves default, except that Asuna is not playing B main, he was playing up in A heaven. So even then, adding a bit of a flair to it. The B heaven wall has been broken, Cryo's wall with a gap in it. So that has pulled Asuna over and away from A heaven. Crew were doing a lot of these kind of push-pull plays where they ended in a re-hit on Ascent, if you remember back.
Trail.
Is it going to be the same here? It certainly looks like it.
Fake towards B. Showstopper. Seekers. Flash committed into heaven, but guess what? The spike is landing all the way over towards A. That's the end goal. And they're trying to push and pull these rotations with some level of success, but still 100 Thieves, they hold their ground. Stella anchoring at the back of the site. What kill can they find? At the back of the map, one, but eventually traded. Derek returns.
10 seconds, planting for heaven?
Plan for heaven. A swing there from Asuna could have just put a stop to this entire round. Doesn't take the fight though.
What a risk.
Assuming it to be held. So plan for heaven, 2 players still there. Pull off to the side, resetting it. Melzer, last one standing. 1v3. 100 Thieves doubled up, dropping down. It's all about trying to take good fights together. No one was really there for Cryo, but okay, wins the fight. A correction, Bang was there with a re-swing to help out, even if he did fall. So 11 now gained for 100 Thieves.
And this defense side is really working. I thought that was a very nicely played round by Crew as well, actually. The way in which they take a bit of ramp control, threaten like it's going to be a B heaven play. I think the fake was good too. Honestly, Davies a little unlucky not to come away with at least 1 kill. The Showstopper not quite finding its target, the nade not there to finish it off, and he loses the duel as well. But that very easily could have been an advantage situation for Crew. Nice little microplay as well by Derek and Stella as Derek flashed in for Stella to anchor. And look at this aggression down mid. It's Asuna, it's Cryo going for a walk, while the duelists on the other side take ramp.
Deep push against the half buy. It's risky, but it does allow them to get off this wall.
Here.
Denying a lot of that information. Kesnit all the way pushed forward. Location reveal, he is darted, but a flash to accompany it. Kill Gordon, as Asuna wants to take the fight to them. Does well to get 2, but Kesnit still with a knife, now refreshed.
One of the major differences in terms of this map for 100 Thieves on the defense is how insanely confident Asuna has been. He is just taking every fight. And he's winning a ton of them.
He's being a spearhead for his team, and that's what we needed to see as well. There's just little moments of hesitation in that first map from 100 Thieves, the way they were taking the fights, but also they didn't seem certain with how they wanted to trade it out, or if they even wanted to trade it at all.
100 Thieves are reading that this is going to be an A re-hit. It's how Crew have played most of the time. Unfortunately, they've guessed incorrectly just this once. It looks like Crew are going to try and end B. Unless they do something crazy here and put a ton of pressure onto
30 seconds
Cryo.
left.
They might just end up walking into him unless they're passing through B heaven.
Just making sure that the angles are watched for. And look at
What's
Cryo, he's
going
so
on here?
uncertain.
Whoa!
Doesn't know where they are. Handed over a rifle.
Whoa, the timing is crazy though. Mills
Oh.
was in astral form.
And anything could have happened. Still, we're casting it low.
Plant the spike.
Not out of the woods just yet. Here we see it.
10
Spike getting
seconds left.
planted. I want on the side, so there's going to be that freebie, and they've handed over to the rifles with the knives. Crew are set up here.
100
You
Thieves
want to fight
retakes
it?
have been very good, but they're usually in position a lot earlier than this. At this point, with 100 Thieves coming close, they could be anywhere. Crew could be pushing CT, they could be in B heaven mail, anywhere.
Smoke to push forwards. Bang!
Last
2
player
kills.
standing.
1 player left standing, but it's Nags, and he just doesn't guess where the positioning is.
A very difficult 2v3. Crew are expected to win that kind of situation, and that was a thrifty. That was a situation where Crew had a bunch of players with frenzies and a blade storm.
Yeah.
And they end up coming away with the victory there. I think Crew are actually calling a very nice attack side that's throwing 100 Thieves for a loop. Compared to the first half of this map, felt like both teams were struggling. The second half, I mean, Crew not so much, obviously. They were dealing with what 100 Thieves were throwing at them fairly well. But this half, I think Crew are playing better, but 100 Thieves are also stepping up.
Seeing that timeout called, pressure starting to get applied, because if you're thinking about Crew's situation, they do not want to let this opportunity slip away from them to try and close out this series in a 2-0 fashion. They don't have the lead. They lost that quite some time ago, but the last 3 rounds, they've got 2 of them. So it was that string of rounds back-to-back that 100 Thieves claimed, but no longer is the momentum really on their side, and that's what's really caused this.
With the amount of input that the Crew head coach has been having, and actually the amount of holes that they're finding in the 100 Thieves defense, I'd be a little bit worried here to take a timeout as Mike's, because you're going to allow the head coach of Crew, newly added, to add more of that input. You heard Aguero talking about it. This is supposed to be a bit of a work in progress right now, this Crew squad, because the leadership has changed recently. People seem to forget that Crew underwent some pretty massive shifts right before VCT Americas began.
It takes a long time to find your footing, any sort of project that gets set up.
So now taking a look at the defensive setup, Stella with a cam over towards B main. You've got Cryo. Looks like he wants to just wall this off immediately.
But disrespect, Davies on top of it. Portion broken, dropped down to his feet. Slow up as well. A ramp control is going to be Cruz.
Asuna has been very confidently taking these fights, and I don't see any reason why this round would be an exception. He could easily get a flash from Derek once that comes back online and try and refight A ramp.
Trailblazer broken. Not too sure how much information that's going to be gathering, but call's made. Contact push into heaven with the Viper wall as it does go down. Flash as well. That's going to give more information for 100 Thieves here, but it's that slow siege by Crew, honestly. One of the adjustments they've been making is steadily contacting and taking that space and seeing where are the weaknesses in the defensive setup that 100 Thieves are running. 40 seconds left. Time might start becoming an issue.
They've pushed 100 Thieves completely out of mid, completely out of A heaven. And so they've got 3 players hard anchoring B and 2 players hard anchoring A.
30 seconds left.
The time, though, could be an issue for Crew, but as we can see, this is about to get really difficult for Cryo and Derek.
The responsibility is on those 2 players anchoring at the back of the side. The dog, that's a stun. Need to clear most of it. Cosmic Divider, that's a try and peel. That's bang, he set that one. Oh, kill! Right through the wall, Kesnick claiming 2 still. Time running low.
No amazing
plant around the corner.
No amazing post-plant positions from Crew here. Everyone is very grouped up.
Backed up onto the side, and how do they want to try and take this one? Orb, in the face of bang.
If Asuna gets 1 kill, he has his Razor online.
But a setup here, off to the side. Or is it a trade? Asuna still a bit of spam into that smoke at the side of the map. Fight taken, Stella doesn't win it. It's down to Asuna. And an offset of the movement there, Nags. will find his mark. 11 to 11. Dragged all the way back. An even scoreline.
Lacking a bit of that coordination there in terms of the retake. But KRU calling another very nice attack round, I think. The first 6 rounds on KRU's attack, they were running into very defensive setups that they couldn't navigate their way around. And now it looks like they've got the read. They're abusing mid control, taking A heaven, and it doesn't feel like 100 Thieves have a great answer for it.
Slow beginnings of KRU. Acting counter, honestly, as well to a lot of the strengths of the double duelist, being able to burst and take that space early on quite quickly.
But they're still reacting quickly.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference. They're poking, they're prodding, they're seeing what space you can get with, little resistance. But then making good game plans off of it. Explosive once they take that space. And so a fight taken as the boom bot gets broken! Shotstopper was unleashed.
Almost no damage.
Yeah. Dash really playing a significant part there. Nade down, taking control of ropes again, because they know mid's compromised and anything could happen here, but it's Davies who's lurking his way with the help of Klaus. They hear the cam right above them. Can they try and break this one with the setup? Looks unlikely. They don't want to face this one, and a refight by 100 Thieves is called. Free fire onto the corner, backing away. Enough damage there. And well, Klaus is just healing onto the side. Flash into the corner. Reflash doesn't tag anything. 49 health. Shut down.
And this is chaos. There's 30 seconds left in the round. The KRU players are all over the place. The spike is in market. How do they even get into a position to win?
Time is becoming a significant element here. Kesnit with 1, and he has just been so chaotic. Still alive, but eventually dealt with. Running is honestly getting away with murder there into the spawn. Res online though, and a plant was opened up. The B site completely. Melter placed it down in a 1v3. Assuming no slip-ups now, 100 Thieves should be the slam dunk for them. They should be able to get this to that point. Spots the position, trade online, double-faced for 100 Thieves, and just like that, that 12th round coveted.
KRU definitely had a read on what Stella's setup was like, but took too long to navigate it and had players in all sorts of unusual positions.
One enemy remaining.
They had to root people out from all over the place there. And it is a big round from Cryo. The trade's good. The way that 100 Thieves dealt with the chaos is good too. Are we going to see OT? I think I may have cursed it earlier, Brent.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
Did say there was a chance we went to OT 3 maps.
Lots of opportunities for KRU. Get back into this one. Fast, flash up to the side. Cryo. Tap, reposition with the movement. They aim steady enough that a kill is claimed quite nicely. It's a big kill to be claimed. But this is what KRU have been doing a lot. Bit of aggression maybe, but now starting to contact through, seeing if they can get anything else. Dog. Too much.
I really like Cryo's wall in B main. It stops any chance of a re-hit.
Hit broken. It's a fast play. Onto the site, dash active now. Stella holding the heavy position. He only gets the one. Kesnit didn't drop down. Spike's been dropped. Know exactly where the position is. Still a minute on the clock, but the site's going to be opened up for them with the Viper's pit down. Now looking more than doable. Kesnit, aggression. Wants to take the fight to them on ramp with the knives in his hand. Not lacking any confidence at all.
Kesnit's a big weakness.
Doesn't know the meaning of the word, but he overheats and Derek rips his head clean off. Cosmic Divide though online. That's going to split this one up and make it just that much harder for 100 Thieves, but they'd love to close this one out. They'd love to try and bring it to 3. Final play left standing, Nax. Seen it before. Can he do it again? Not quite. A collected 100 Thieves in the final moments, but they do just about drag it to that map number 3.
The fans are happy. And why wouldn't they be? That finally looked like serious 100 Thieves quality gameplay on their defensive side. And I think KRU were playing fairly well on that attack half too, the way that they were trying to get the reads, play for mid-control, split through B heaven, A heaven. But at the same time, we just saw such a wealth of different defensive setups. And for the first time in what feels like so long, 100 Thieves playing off each other and playing with confidence, especially for Asuna. And I think that's going to be very interesting heading into map 3 because we've seen Cryo play the Jet for them on Fracture before. That looked really lacking map 1. Maybe there's a chance that the compositional adjustment has come through and Asuna ends up playing Raze on Fracture. I don't think it's likely, but I do think with the way that Asuna's currently playing, maybe that would be the difference maker.
Could be the difference maker indeed, but potential as well for Crew to maybe be kicking themselves. They couldn't close this out in the 2 maps that it was offered to them because now we're entering that Fracture as that 3rd map out of the strength. A lot of that map pool for Crew where the strengths were lying towards Ascent and Split, but that's going to do it for map number 2. Time for a quick break. When we return, the analysts are going to get us ready for that map number 3.